I saw the exact moment when the weight of the world seemed to concentrate on your shoulders, in that instant when the silence of the house became deafening. I was there, leaning against the doorframe of your kitchen, watching the trembling in your hands as you held that now cold cup, trying to understand where everything had changed. You felt invisible, as if your worth had left along with those who decided not to stay. But listen to what your Father has to tell you today, with the authority of the one who formed the stars and knows every hair on your head. Although they abandoned you, it was precisely in that emptiness that I chose you in a way you don't yet understand. Perhaps you wonder why I allowed such pain, or why the sky seemed like bronze in recent months, but a mystery is being revealed now. I assure you, my daughter, that your time for crying is over today, in this very encounter I have arranged with you. There is something I have prepared for the next 7 days of your life that will make you look back and be grateful for the doors that closed on the outside. If this breath of life is reaching the depths of your soul right now, let me know you are listening to me. Tell me your name, from what place in the world you are calling out, and what time the clock shows at this moment when my voice finds you. I want you to let go of this weight and right here, as a cry of confession from someone who can no longer bear the burden alone. Lord my God, I am here. I signed up because I love you and want to hear you. Stay with me until the last word is spoken, for I have a clear answer that I will deliver to your heart. There is a specific phrase, a key to victory, that I will whisper only to those who remain on this journey until the end, and those who take it for themselves will see prophetic blessings being released upon their house. I know the struggles you have faced in silence and the prayers you didn't even have the strength to put into words. Today I begin to tear the veil of your sadness. But before I show you the table I am preparing, I need you to understand something about the sound of that door closing, something you haven't yet realized, but which I revealed to my servant Isaiah when I said, I would not leave you an orphan. You think it was a loss, but what I am about to tell you about what I saw while you slept will completely change your perspective on who left. If this word touched your heart, leave your sign of gratitude and subscribe to this chain of love so that my voice may always find you. Have you ever felt that God's silence was, in fact, a protection against the noise of the world? Write in the comments, I trust in your timing. I haven't shown you everything yet, because what I prepared in the silence of that sleepless night is what will truly shake the foundations of your pain. Do you remember that grey afternoon, when the wind seemed to carry away the last of your hopes? I saw you walking, your gaze lost on the horizon, feeling the weight of each step as if you were carrying the world on your shoulders. It was at that exact moment, when you felt the warmth of a hand move away from yours, that the coldness of rejection tried to paralyze you. I saw you look to the side and find only emptiness, and the silence of that absence hurt more than any word spoken. But while you felt you were falling into an endless abyss, my hands, which sustain the universe, were already positioned right below you. You thought you were alone on that sidewalk, or perhaps sitting on the edge of that bed that seemed too big for your weariness, but I was there. I felt the trembling of your lips trying to hold back a cry that your soul could no longer contain. When human hands released you, my hands, wounded on the cross, held you with a strength you still cannot measure. What was abandonment for you was deliverance for me. I needed to let go of the wrong hands so that you could finally hold on to the one who would never let you go. For it is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, verse 13, For I, the Lord your God, hold your right hand. It is I who say to you, Fear not, I am the one who helps you. Just feel now the warmth of this touch that doesn't depend on human feelings, but on a fidelity that transcends centuries. I held you when you thought you would crumble in front of everyone, and I carried you in my arms when the light in your room went out and the fear of loneliness knocked at your door. I chose you from the midst of your ruins, when no one else saw value in what remained of you, and I transformed your fall into the beginning of your greatest flight. If this invisible embrace warmed your heart now, take this seed of life to those who also walk in the cold of oblivion. Tell me, with all the sincerity of your soul, in the depths of your silence, what is your heart pleading with God for today? Write in the comments your affirmation of possession. Your hand sustains me. But I haven't yet shown you everything I saw while you cried. There is still something I am preparing in silence that requires a step of trust from you that will change the way you see the abundance of my kingdom. At this very moment of surrender, I feel your heartbeat calming, as if you were finally finding the safe harbor you so desperately sought. My right hand still rests upon yours, and in this infinite touch, I want to extend an invitation, born from the greatest love. There is a spiritual law in my kingdom that transforms gratitude into something alive, capable of blossoming in fields you have not yet walked. I see how much you value this nourishment that reaches you every day, calming the storms of your soul and bringing the light that illuminates your darkest paths. If it is possible for you, only if it is possible, transform this gratitude into a seed of love through this channel. Consider my immense love and the sacrifice of my son Jesus, and contribute using the link in the description of this video in the first pinned comment. There you will find the sacred place where your offering of love can be deposited and consecrated before me, the Creator of all things. You can contribute any amount, because for me, the intention is what matters, not the amount. If you wish to donate a different amount, simply type what you desire. And always remember, give only what fits in your heart with joy and freedom. I receive every gesture. The amount doesn't matter, because what truly matters is the heart with which you give. What is little for you can be much for the one who receives it, serving as sustenance so that this voice continues to reach other wounded lives. Whoever contributes any amount with a sincere heart, don't forget to leave your name and city along with your contribution, because on the first day of the following month, in a unique and special video on our channel and page, Divine Love, the Voice of God, your name will be remembered, mentioned, and covered with divine blessings released in prayer. For it is written in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 6, verse 38, "Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. Every offering made in faith is a seed before me, and I will not fail to bear fruit. I see in secret and reward in the sight of all. Stay until the end of this message, because I still want to touch your heart with my voice of eternal love today." I saw the exact moment the lights in your house went out, and you finally allowed yourself to crumble. During the day, you maintained a tired smile, answered phone calls, took care of everyone, and pretended that the emptiness left by that abandonment wasn't corroding your chest. But when the bedroom door closed, the mask fell. I was there, sitting on the edge of your bed, watching the scent of fabric softener on your pillow mix with the salt of your tears. You cried softly, muffling the sound against the fabric so that no one in the other room would hear your fragility, so that no one would know that that strong woman also feels like a lost child in the dark. There were nights when the clock struck 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and your thoughts hammered away at the same question. Why wasn't I enough for them to stay? I saw when the cold of dawn chilled your skin, and you huddled under the covers, feeling a weight on your chest that seemed to weigh tons. The silence of that room was so dense that you could hear the accelerated beating of your own heart, pleading for a relief that no medicine could bring. You thought I was distant, watching your suffering from a faraway throne, but I was so close that each of your sobs echoed within me, for it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 56, verse 8, "You keep track of my persecutions, put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book? Every drop that soaked that sheet was collected by my hands. None of them were in vain. I not only saw your tears, I kept the secret of your pain to transform it into the foundation of your new story. What they called discarding, I called separation. I took you away from the noise so that in the silence of your wet pillow you could finally hear my voice saying that your worth is not defined by who left, but by who decided to stay with you forever. If this revelation has touched your troubled heart, leave your sign of love and join this family that seeks my face. Share this message with that soul you know also cries in secret in the early hours of the morning. Tell me one thing, in the silence of your soul. What would you say to me now if you could see me face to face in this room? Write in the comments our healing word, pearl tears. But I haven't yet shown you everything I've prepared for your dawn. There's something I wrote with much love to accompany you when loneliness tries to return. something that will be your daily guide in this new season that begins now. As the morning light slowly begins to filter through the crack in your window, I see the weariness that still weighs on your eyes, and that desire to simply not have to fight today. But I did not call you to walk in solitude. I called you to a shared journey, where my voice will be your constant guide. If your heart desires to delve even deeper into my presence, I have prepared for you a gift in the form of a spiritual journey, which I wrote with all my zeal and affection for each of my beloved daughters and sons, the digital book called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was designed to be your daily refuge, accompanying you in moments of silence and strengthening your soul in the purest intimacy with me. The path to access this source of comfort is right there, in the link in the description of this video, and also in the first comment I left pinned for you. Listen carefully. If today the desert feels too difficult for you, don't let condemnation take root in your heart. Remain with me here, for I will continue to nourish and sustain you through this message that flows directly from heaven to your heart, and so that your soul may rest and you may not feel lost in doubt. Immediately after you complete your registration, access to this material will arrive directly at the email address you registered, containing all the simple instructions, explained step by step, so that you can begin to walk this path hand in hand with me. For it is written, "Let me hear of your loving kindness in the morning, for in you I trust. Show me the way I should go, for to you I lift up my soul." This devotional will be like a daily remedy for the wounds that rejection has caused, a companion during your sleepless nights, and a clear direction for your next steps. Take a deep breath now, feel my peace flooding your room, and know that I will not let you give up. Our conversation is not over yet, because what I am about to reveal to you about the scars you carry will change the way you see yourself in the mirror. If you feel you need this daily nourishment to continue, leave your sign of faith and subscribe so that my word is never lacking at your table. What is the greatest desire you would like to place in my hands this morning? Write in the comments our word of surrender, safe path. But don't go, for there is still an old wound that I will touch now, and the healing that will come from it will be the sign you have so longed for. I know that the scars you carry today are not on your skin, but engraved deep within your soul, in places where no human remedy can reach. I saw when those words cut like razors, when voices that should have protected you rose up to diminish you, calling you insufficient, forgotten, or saying that your time had passed. I saw the lump in your throat that formed in that hallway, the weight on your chest that prevented you from breathing, as you tried to process how someone you loved so much could be so cruel to your heart. At this moment, I place my hands over your ears to silence the echo of these lies. Those who abandoned you used words to try to build a prison around you, but I am the one who holds the key to the truth about who you are. To the world, you may be an unfinished draft, but to me, you are my masterpiece, designed before there was even light. I feel the tremor in your chin when you try to repeat to yourself that everything is all right, but know that I am not deceived by your apparent strength. I see the wounded girl who still cries out for validation within you, for it is written in the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 18, "There are some whose words are like the piercing of a sword, but the tongue of the wise brings healing." I am your healing today. I am tearing off the false labels they have stuck on you. Where they said failure, I write victorious. Where they said alone, I write mine. I am cleansing your mind of every cursed phrase spoken in that argument, of every look of contempt that tried to extinguish the light in your eyes. You are not what they said. You are what I declared on Calvary. If this healing is beginning to flow through your veins now, share this light with someone who also lives under the weight of harsh words. Tell me, with the sincerity of someone who now breathes a sigh of relief, what lie did the world tell you that you are now leaving at my feet? Write in the comments our declaration of liberation, healed identity. But my intervention in your routine is even deeper than you imagine. I saw where you hid to drink that bitter coffee, and what you thought while looking at the empty chair in front of you. And that's where I'm going now. I see you enter that kitchen every morning, as if you were performing a ritual of silent pain. The cold tile under your bare feet seems to reflect the temperature of your heart at that moment. I observe the sound of the spoon hitting the ceramic cup, a noise that echoes too loudly because the house is empty of voices, but full of memories you would like to forget. You look at that empty chair in front of you, and the coffee seems to lose its flavor as the lump in your throat tightens once more. You wonder if this silence will be your soundtrack for the rest of your days, but listen to what I, your Lord, am telling you as the coffee steam rises before your eyes. I filled that empty space even before you sat down. While you looked at their absence, I was occupying the place of honor at your table. That time when your tears were the only seasoning of your food has come to its definitive end. I have decided that your kitchen will no longer be a place of mourning, but an altar of revelation. I saw every time you swallowed your tears so as not to worry anyone, and every time the weight of loneliness made you lose your appetite. For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 30, verse 5. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Your morning is not just a time on the clock, it is the season that I am inaugurating now in your life. I am replacing this spirit of anguish with an oil of joy that will perfume every room in your house. The echo of rejection will no longer linger in these walls, because my voice will become the companion that makes your heart burn with hope. The time for weeping in the kitchen is over, because I have decided to sit with you, and where I am, sadness finds no place to remain. If you feel that my presence is warming your heart now more than any hot drink, take this comfort to someone who is also facing domestic deserts. Tell me something. In this silence that once frightened you, what would you most like to hear from my mouth today? Write in the comments our word of renewal, table of peace. But I haven't finished preparing what is yours yet. You were humiliated in secret. But what I will do in the sight of all before those who turned their backs on you will be something that human eyes have not yet seen. A banquet is being prepared, and the invitation already has your name. I saw every sidelong glance, every whisper laden with poison, and every door that was locked so that you could not enter. I was present when your steps were ignored in the corridors, and when your name was mentioned with a dismissive tone in conversations where you were not there to defend yourself. You felt small, as if the world were a stage where everyone had a role except you, who remained seated in the back rows, watching the success of others while swallowing the bitter taste of your own insignificance. But what they didn't know is that while they pushed you into darkness, I was there, illuminating your face with my hidden glory. Now I call you to the front. I am spreading a tablecloth of the finest linen on the table of your life before the wide-eyed gaze of those who bet on your downfall. I am preparing a banquet of restoration that will not be served in secret, but in the light of day, so that all may see that the hand that sustains you is not human. I see the cold sweat that runs down your face when you fear their judgment. But I tell you, lift up your head. Today I change your position from servant of suffering to honored guest of the King. For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 23, verse 5. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Feel the fresh oil descending upon your brow now, calming your thoughts and healing the wounds of humiliation. I am filling your cup with such profound peace that those who hurt you will not understand how you can still smile. Where there was shame, there will be double honor. Those who saw you weep by the roadside will be the same ones who will witness my abundance overflowing in your hands. This is not about vengeance, but about divine justice being manifested in the land of the living. If you feel that your table is being prepared by the Creator himself at this very moment, share this hope with those who still live, hidden by shame. Now that the banquet has begun, what would your soul cry out if it had only one chance to give thanks before all those who doubted you? Write in the comments our winning word, overflowing chalice. But I haven't yet revealed the secret of what's in store for your tomorrow. There's something I'm stirring behind the scenes of time, breaking down the bronze doors that surrounded you. What comes next is what you've waited for your whole life. I see you now, standing before that window where you usually seek an answer that never seems to arrive. I observe the reflection of your face in the glass, the weariness in your eyes that can no longer bear to search for a way out, and that suffocating feeling that the sky above you has become bronze, impenetrable and mute. You spent months knocking on doors that not only remained locked, but seemed to mock your urgency. I saw you clench your hands tightly, feeling the powerlessness of someone who has tried everything, and now only has silence as an answer. But listen to the sound that is beginning to echo in the celestial regions now, a sound that your human ears cannot yet perceive, but that your soul is already beginning to sense. I am going ahead of you at this very millisecond. Those bronze doors that seemed insurmountable, that you believed to be the end of your road, are being shattered by my power. I will not only unlock what was closed, I will remove the iron bolts that hindered your progress. The tomorrow that caused you fear, that awakening you dreaded because you thought it would be just another day of vain struggle, is now being transformed into a territory of conquest. You will see what happens when the Creator of time decides that the waiting is over. For it is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 2, I will go before you and make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of bronze and cut through the bars of iron. Do not look at the size of the barrier that surrounded you. Look at the strength of my hand that now reduces it to dust. I am straightening every path that the world has crooked to make you fall. What comes next is not just an improvement. It is a complete revelation of the purpose that I kept under lock and key while you wept. You will pass through those thresholds that were once blockages, and you will see that the land on the other side is fertile and ready to receive your seeds. If this revelation of hope has made your heart beat differently today, feel invited to walk closer to me on this journey. Share this light with that soul you know is about to give up before a closed door. Tell me something. Now that the bronze is falling, what's the first thing you want to do when you cross over to your victory side? Write in the comments. Our word of possession. Open doors. But I haven't yet shown you everything that protected you while you were vulnerable. You have no idea of the attacks I blocked while you slept, thinking you were unprotected. What I'm going to show you about my shield will forever change your security. I saw when exhaustion finally overcame your resistance and you fell asleep with your face still marked by the salt of tears. The room was immersed in that twilight that usually frightens those who feel alone, but for me that darkness was the scene of my greatest care. As your eyes closed and your breathing became heavy, I stood beside your bed, like a sentinel who knows neither sleep nor weariness. You didn't see it, but in that early morning, darts of despair and arrows of abandonment were launched against your mind, trying to convince you that the sun would never rise again for you. But I was there with my invisible shield, blocking every attack the enemy planned in the silence of the darkness. There were moments when danger lurked at your door in ways you can't even imagine. An accident that didn't happen, an illness that didn't reach you, a betrayal that was diverted from your path. All because my hand was upon your life. You wept for what you lost, but you had no idea what I spared you from experiencing. I blocked the abyss that opened beneath your feet while you walked, distracted by your pain. If I were to show you now the number of deliverances I gave you in just 24 hours, your heart would overflow with reverent awe. For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 121, verse 4, Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. My protection is not an isolated event, it is a blood covenant. I guard your coming in and your going out, your lying down and your rising up, with a zeal that no earthly father could have. Even when you felt vulnerable, exposed to the gazes and judgments of this world, I was covering you with my feathers, ensuring that the worst would not touch you. The enemy wanted your end, but I ordained that he only watch over your reconstruction. If you feel that my shadow covered you and guarded you from the worst when you felt most exposed, take this refuge to those who walk unprotected. Before we continue, let me ask you something. Deep in your soul, what is the fear you want me to block with my shield now? Write in the comments our word of protection, my shield. But my covenant with you goes far beyond physical protection. I am about to show you a bond that no time can wear down and that no one in this world has the power to undo. What I am about to reveal to you is the final seal of your new identity, one that no one can ever steal from you again. For what I sign no one can erase. I saw when the contracts were torn up and when the promises made to you at the altar, on paper, or in the warmth of an embrace, were blown away by the wind as if they had never existed. I was there when you looked at the finger, where a ring once stood, or at the empty frame on the wall, feeling that your word and your love had been thrown in the trash, by the one who swore to protect you. The world is an expert at breaking ties, at undoing oaths when convenience ends or when the winter of life approaches. But while you lamented the breaking of these human alliances, I was preparing the seal of something that neither time, nor death, nor abandonment can even scratch. My covenant with you was not written with ink that fades, nor signed on papers that fire consumes. I engraved your name in a place where no one can erase it, on the palms of my hands. Each mark I bear is the testimony that I accepted your burden so that you could carry my peace. When they left you, they thought they were leaving you with nothing. But little did they know they were making room for my eternal covenant to occupy the entire territory of your being. You are no longer a person adrift, waiting for the approval of those who don't know how to love you. You are the exclusive property of the Creator, sealed with blood that speaks louder than any rejection. For it is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 16. See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. Your walls are continually before me. Look at your hands now. Feel the firmness of your fingers. Just as I sustain the movement of your body, I sustain the structure of your soul. Nothing that happened in that room, in that courtroom, or in that painful farewell has changed what I signed concerning you before the foundation of the world. My faithfulness does not depend on your perfection, but on my character that never changes. I am the God who fulfills, the God who remains when all others depart. This alliance is your safe haven, your anchor amidst the storms that may still try to blow. If this certainty that you belong to something unbreakable has brought a sigh of relief to your heart, help this message reach another soul that feels discarded. Tell me here, from the depths of your truth, what are you definitively giving to me today, knowing that I will never let you go? Write in the comments our covenant word, eternal alliance. But I haven't finished this encounter yet. Now that your heart is sealed, I will give you the final key I promised at the beginning of our conversation, the one that will close the door to tears and open the portal to your strength. At this very moment, I feel the weight that once crushed your chest, transforming into a lightness you haven't known for years. The journey we made together today, through your secret tears, your silent kitchen, and the wounds that rejection caused, was not just a message but a spiritual surgery on your heart. I came personally to find you in the place of abandonment and to seat you at my table of honor. The echo of that closing door was silenced by the sound of my voice calling you my beloved daughter, chosen and never forgotten. Everything you have lived through to get here has served to prove that your structure is made of something the world cannot destroy. You survived what should have killed you because I was there, being your invisible shield and your strength in the cold dawns. Now the season of pain is over. I am placing in your hands the golden key I mentioned when we began this encounter, the answer your spirit has so long sought and which will be your motto from now on. This is the phrase I whisper in your ear for you to declare before any giant, any loneliness, and any tomorrow. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Write this phrase in the comments right now as an act of faith and possession of your new life. As you type each letter, feel the divine force flooding your arms and your mind. Whoever writes this phrase will be sealing before heaven that the time of being a victim is over and the time of being sustained by me has begun. This is my prophetic promise concerning your home and your future. Do not stop listening to my voice, for I still have profound mysteries to reveal to you in other moments of intimacy. Continue browsing through our list of messages, for in each one I have left a new piece of your armor. I will be waiting for you the next time your heart needs a clear sign of my love. The tears have dried, the table is set, and my hand will not let go of you. Walk now in the light of my unbreakable covenant. I am your God, and you are my greatest treasure.